So today I'm actually going to go refill my CO2 tank, and I thought this would be a great moment to actually shoot a video on how to actually remove your regulator from your tank. I know a lot of people sometimes ask questions about that, or what's the safest way to do that. So I'm gonna make a quick video real quick and show you guys how to do that. So my setup. Let's see, pull you guys down a little bit. So I just run a 5 pound tank on this 90p with a GLA regulator, and then obviously I just got my CO2 tube that goes up to the tank and then into my diffuser. So nothing, pretty simple, pretty much what everybody has. So basically the first step is the tubing. So mine's pretty tight. If yours is loose, you'd probably be able to like pull all the way out of the cabinet, but mine's pretty tight. So I actually have to remove that tubing. So obviously there's that little cap right there that you just have to loosen up, and then the tubing pops right out. And another thing to note is the best time to actually do this is before your CO2 turns on. So try to do it like early in the morning. And so because once it gets filled up, it's going to be obviously iced up, and that needs to defrost before you can even use it. So I try to do it early in the morning and then let it sit for maybe like 3 or 4 hours before setting it back up. But I mean, if you don't have time to change it in the morning, then it's perfectly fine. It's just know that your tank won't be getting CO2 during that time. That might affect a few things. So just keep that in mind. So let's see if I can get you guys on eye level. So yeah, this is my pretty nice setup. GLA regulators are really, if you're looking for a really nice regulator, these are the best on the market without a question. Greenleaf Aquariums they've basically invented a lot of this stuff. I mean, they're the ones that invented these bubble counter manifolds. I mean, they've been high quality since day one. So really good company if you're looking for, one of the best regulators. So back to it. So the first thing you do is obviously you want to shut off the CO2. So obviously there's going to be letters on the top to show you which way is closed. So obviously mine's not open too much, so just don't like crank it, but at least get it snug tight to where you can get it right back open when you're done. And then you want to get an adjustable wrench. This one works fine, or works great, because you can just adjust it right to the size you need, or you can use a fixed wrench. Just really make sure that it's the right size, because obviously you can mar the threads and you might round it off. So you don't want to do that, because obviously, like we said, especially like this regulator, I mean, this one's running $300. We don't want to round and then not be able to get it off in the future. So yeah, so we'll just adjust that to the right size. And I believe this one, yeah, it turns back. So you kind of want to put your hand on this at the same time and kind of do something like this, and you'll kind of hear it leak out a little bit. And don't be afraid of that. That's just whatever excess that's in the regulator. And then it shouldn't take much. Is like mine, I don't ever put it on too tight. So once you turn it once, it should be loose and you can hand do it. Because on this type of stuff, I would do as much hand as possible. I wouldn't. I mean, you can go ahead and crank it all the way off with the wrench, but just do it all by hand, just so, again, you don't want to mar those threads. And then that comes off, and then let's see. A little cap here stuck. There we go. So this puts the go right back in there, but this is actually one of the O-rings that actually will thread in there. And then obviously I got my ring in there too also, so make sure those two stay together so nothing gets messed up. So I would just place that in there and then place this regulator in a safe spot where it's not going to get messed up. And yeah, there you go. So yeah, the regulator's off. Obviously keep it closed. I mean, you're getting it refilled anyway, so even if it gets opened up and leaks a little bit, no big deal, but just kind of keep it closed and make sure when you get it to the gas shop, keep it upright. Obviously when you're, really doesn't matter when it's empty, if it's sideways or up, but definitely when you go to refill it and you bring it home, definitely keep it upright. What I like to do is, if you have an extra seat open, I like to put it in the front seat and just actually seat buckle it, just so it's nice and sturdy and doesn't move. Yeah, and then like I said, once you get it home, it's going to be all iced up, and so it needs to basically defrost, and that can take kind of a while, like 3-4 hours. I mean, once it's all freezed off, and it's still going to be cold at the end of the day, but it'll basically just look like this when it's ready, so you won't see any like iced up marks on it. So just once it looks like this again, then I would say put it right back on, because obviously you don't want to put it back on when it's all frozen up like that. So yeah, big thing is just to wait on that, and then obviously to put it back on is the same way. Just thread that needle back on. Make sure your O-rings and fittings are nice and tight on there. You don't want anything leaking. I've had that many times before. I messed up and then I had to go refill it a couple times more, and it just costs more money that way. So just make sure all your O-rings and stuff are there. Because yeah, that's the biggest thing. You know, this O-ring pops out and you don't even realize it, and then all your CO2 leaks out within a day. So just make sure on that. And yeah, I think that's all I got to share. If you comment, like, subscribe, and if you have any other questions, definitely let me know down in the comments. But follow my Instagram at JJ Aquariums, and I'll see you guys in the next one.